Hey there, fellow Americans. It seems our favorite shoe brands are caught in a bit of a pickle, and they're calling on the big guy himself, President Trump, for help. We're talking about Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, the heavy hitters of the footwear world. They've joined forces with 73 other brands to send a letter pleading for relief from the recent onslaught of tariffs. These tariffs, folks, are like extra taxes on goods imported from other countries. Think of it like this. You order a pizza, and when it arrives, the delivery guy slaps you with an unexpected dough surcharge. Not cool, right? That's essentially what these companies are facing. They're arguing that these tariffs are not only unfair but also pose a serious threat to their very existence. Sounds dramatic, right? Well, hold on to your hats because things are about to get real in the world of sneakers. This isn't just about big corporations crying wolf either. This is about your wallets, folks. The letter warns that these tariffs could lead to higher prices for all of us sneakerheads. Remember those limited edition Jordans you've been eyeing? Yeah, those might become even more elusive, and by elusive, I mean expensive. And it's not just about the price tag. The letter also suggests that we could be facing a future of empty shelves and limited choices. The footwear industry is calling these tariffs an existential threat. That's a fancy way of saying these tariffs could put them out of business. They're arguing that they can't simply absorb these extra costs without passing them on to you, the consumer. Imagine this, you're running a lemonade stand and suddenly the price of lemons skyrockets because of some government policy. You're either forced to raise your prices or you're stuck with a bunch of sour fruit and no profit. That's the tightrope these companies are walking. And it's not just a small bump in the road. We're talking about tariffs on goods from countries like China, Vietnam, and Cambodia. These are major players in the global footwear supply chain. Trump's tariffs have added a hefty price tag to products from these countries, and the footwear industry is feeling the heat. Let's be real, folks. Nobody likes paying more for things they need and want. And let's be honest, for some people, sneakers are more than just footwear. They're a way of life. These tariffs are like a tax that everyone pays, whether you're a sneakerhead or just need a new pair of running shoes. The increased costs are passed down from the manufacturers to the retailers and ultimately to you, the consumer. But it's not just about the price hike. The limited availability of products due to disrupted supply chains could also mean fewer options for consumers. Remember the great toilet paper shortage of 2020? Yeah, nobody wants to relive that, especially not for sneakers. One of the arguments for these tariffs is that they'll bring manufacturing back to the United States. The idea is that by making it more expensive to import goods, companies will be more likely to produce domestically. But here's the kicker. The footwear industry is saying, hold your horses, cowboy. It's not that simple. They argue that these tariffs create instability and discourage investment in U.S. manufacturing. Building factories and establishing supply chains takes time and money. When tariffs are unpredictable and can change on a whim, it creates a risky environment for businesses. Companies are less likely to invest in American manufacturing if they fear those investments could be wiped out by future policy changes. So, while the idea of bringing manufacturing back to the U.S. sounds appealing, the reality is much more complicated.